Welcome to Season 5 of the Let's Talk Data podcast series, presented by SAP, where we explore game-changing technologies with leading experts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Let's Talk Data podcast series. My name is Ginger. I'll be your host for today, and I'm super glad that you've joined us today. Today, the title of our podcast is called How Customers Realize Benefit, so real benefit, from the SAP Business Technology Platform. So there's a lot to unpack there. What is the SAP Business Technology Platform? So what is it really? And how are customers really gaining benefit? So to understand how customers are getting benefit, for this session, we really needed to bring in some heavy hitters from one of our very close partners that we work with, Deloitte, and I'm sure that you have heard of them. But we're going to learn more about what Deloitte's doing in regards to the business technology platform, and also, more importantly, even how Deloitte is seeing real benefit from customers. So I'm very happy today. I'm joined with two experts that I'm excited to be talking with you about. One of them is Neelesh, and the other one is Adam. So welcome to both of you. Neelesh, welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
Thanks, Ginger. Thank you very much for that warm introduction. And first of all, thanks to you again and SAP for giving us this opportunity to come and talk to here. So I'm a specialist lead and I work out of the AI and data offering at Deloitte Consulting in Germany. My focus area is to define strategy, architecture, and implementation of modern hybrid data platforms. And I'm closely working with customers who use SAP as the core of their business processes and want to move towards becoming an intelligent enterprise.
So Neelesh, I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm glad I got to meet you earlier as we worked on the content sprint together that we'll talk about more later. And I believe, Neelesh, are you located, where are you? Are you in Germany, or where are you located?
Yes, I'm in Stuttgart, Germany, and today it's a bright sunny day, 28 degrees.
28 degrees. That's pretty hot. I'm in Fahrenheit, so that's pretty warm. I know 30 is really hot. So all right, stay cool. And we're also joined by Adam. So Adam, tell us a little bit about who you are, your role, and where you're located, and if it's sunny or not.
Thank you. My name is Adam Rapcsak, and I'm a consultant in the AI and data offering of Deloitte Consulting. I work with Neelesh. We come from the same team, and I took part in the development of NBX, the solution that we're going to outline today. I'm calling in from sunny Frankfurt from Germany, and I'm excited to tell you more about NBX.
Well, good. I'm glad y'all are both here. I'm glad, when it's sunny in Germany, it's always a happy day. I'm located in Texas. It's always sunny here and it's already hot. So I'm just glad I've got something cool to drink. I hope that you do too. If you're listening, I hope you'll grab a cold, whatever you need to drink, and just enjoy the conversation with us. So I want to start off. We said that our title that we wanted to do was how customers get benefit from SAP's Business Technology Platform. So first of all, tell us, Neelesh, let's start with you. Tell us about what y'all are doing with Deloitte, with your AI and data offering in general. And then after that, I'm going to ask you to double click more on SAP's BTP. But first, let's kind of just set the stage on what you guys are doing in regards to AI and data in general.
Sure, Ginger. So as you all probably know, Deloitte is a pretty big organization and we are kind of having different offerings targeting different market areas and use cases, industries, and so on. And me and Adam, we work in the offering called Artificial Intelligence and Data. Pretty much the name tells you what we do here, but it will be good to add some more perspective here. So what do we do as part of this offering? We are working with our clients to discover the possibilities of analytics, automation, artificial intelligence, to identify previously unknown insights, relationships in the data, and make them accessible and usable for them. In doing so, we make sure our clients that with the right strategy and technology, they can realize the optimal business value from these insights. In fact, AI and data is a pretty broad offering, and we have multiple market offerings within that. For example, we have AI strategy, where the focus is to show our customers what strategic competitive advantage AI can provide in their own company. In addition to carefully selected use cases, along with the customer's value chain, we focus on key value drivers like growth, margin, efficiency, innovation, and thus pave the way for implementation as well. At the same time, we enable the top decision makers to anchor the topic of AI as a strategic component in the DNA of their own company. And then we also have other market offerings like AI insights, managed analytics and AI services, intelligent automation, and data modernization and analytics. I would like to add a more perspective into the last market offering, data modernization and analytics. And this is where even our relationship with SAP comes in, where we are working together on these different content sprints or bringing out how customers can benefit the value out of BTP. So what do we do here? We work with our customers to define the architecture and also implement large-scale data transformation programs. And especially the platform should be able to meet the demands that are placed on them. We support our customers also in building the needed analytical skills and data platforms that fit into our customers' business strategy and provide insights into key issues relating to company's performance. So as part of this, what we did is SAP BTP is one of our focus areas, and this is where we are building a lot of offerings.
So if I understood correctly, you guys can work with your clients, your customers, and you'll start with first defining what an AI strategy means, what the value is of it can be, look at it with their value drivers, whatever's most important to them. And then you can actually drill down to actual transformations and analytics and things that can make it real. Is that right? Did I kind of summarize that? From the
You got it
strategy all the way
perfectly
to the
right. Yes.
Okay.
Ginger, yes.
Okay. All right. So of course you work with other people other than SAP, but we won't talk about them today. No, we don't like them. But you're obviously a key important partner in helping make sure SAP customers can understand an AI strategy and how to implement it all the way through. So I guess when you're working with customers, a lot of SAP customers in particular would be focused on SAP's technology platform. So that would be the platform when you got to the execution that you would be working with them on. Is that right? Did I say that right? I'm not sure if I did.
No, that's perfectly right. Yeah, you are right that our offering is pretty broad. As I said in the beginning, it is not SAP centric. It is like across technologies, across alliances, right? But as I said, me and Adam, our focus area is with the SAP customers, right? Okay. We have SAP customers who are looking to build modern data platforms, realize benefits out of it, or even understand how they could define their roadmap with the dynamically changing technologies. Now we have this BTP itself. It's a small term, but it covers so many things. And then customers want to know how they could realize value out of it, how should they embrace it, and so on.
Yeah. So why don't you explain with us a little bit about SAP Business Technology Platform? Like maybe at least the top 2 or 3 things that people should really understand about it. Maybe not everything about it, but just a really what you think is most important about the BTP, just in order to understand it.
Sure. Let me see how I can summarize this. So SAP BTP, Business Technology Platform, as it is called, is the foundation for the intelligent enterprise. So if you are an organization who says, I want to be more intelligent, I want things to be automated, I want to leverage AI, then this BTP is the foundation for you, right? And what is also important is this time SAP has gone, which they are not open to do, is embrace open standards, right? So this is built on openness. You're able to connect to any technology, or you're able to provide open APIs, it provide rich developer tools, right? It is possible to deploy on-premise, it is on cloud, it supports hybrid environments and even multi-cloud and edge computing. So if you see this rich foundation in the middle, and there are 4 pillars that basically support or forms this BTP. These pillars again includes a lot of technologies, and end to end, these support the overall SAP ecosystem. First one being database and data management provides applications that could be used for data storage, data processing, data orchestration, data governance, and so on. The next one is analytics, a very important pillar of the BTP. This pillar includes applications that could be used for data warehousing, planning, reporting in cloud, on premise. And the next pillar is application development and integration. Again, in the current market scenario, this pillar even plays a major role because you have so many applications, and there is always challenge. How do I integrate these applications? How do I extend my application? How do I optimize my business process? And this pillar plays a very important role in handling all of that, right? And finally, the last pillar is intelligent technologies. Again, this pillar basically touches all the disruptive technologies like IoT, blockchain. There is an offering on intelligent robotic process automation. For chatbots, there is conversational AI, and so on. As it's a pretty broad topic, and as I said, it becomes really important for our customers to really know how they could embrace so many things, or identify what is right for them. How do they come up with a strategy that is not only relevant for next 2 years, 5 years, but it should be valid for at least 10 years, 15 years, and so on.
So Neelesh, we have all these different offerings on BTP. Maybe you could also talk more about these offerings that we have built.
Sure, Adam. So as I said, it's a pretty broad topic, and I would say we do offerings in two areas. I would say first area is obviously to help our customers help define their strategy, architecture, roadmap, and this is more of a service where we work with our customers in a workshop model. We understand their current pain points, and we know what is BTP offering. We have our industry experience, we have our experts in different areas, and then we collect all these data points, and we come up with a suggestion like what makes sense, how the particular organization should plan their roadmap, or what architecture makes sense for them, right? So this is one kind of area where we do offering, and the other area I would say is Deloitte has broad industry experts, right? We are working in different market conditions. We are coming across different use cases, business use cases, which make sense for leveraging and getting benefit out of it. So that is the second dimension where we know what makes sense for a particular industry, what kind of use cases we want to target there, and so on. And let's say, for example, we have sustainability analytics, right? So in the current market scenario, more and more companies are realizing how closely their performance on the market is related to their sustainability. Basically, it is linked to your performance, it is linked to your profits, to your reputation. For companies, sustainable performing means effectively managing the risks and opportunities that arise from the interactions between the value chain, the end-to-end value chain, the society, and especially the environment, right? There are topics such as climate change, human rights, resource consumption, and the common good are not only becoming more and more important for companies, but also as well as for the investors, customers, NGOs, who continuously demand more commitment to sustainable development. So the customers are getting to know that they need to move towards a sustainable future. They need to have some corporate social responsibility, and it's not easy to do this, right? For example, if you need to know what is your footprint in sustainability, let's take maybe automobile industry, right? They have this CO2 footprint. How do they capture them? How do especially in EU, there is this policy that you should not exceed the carbon footprint, as they need to pay some fees, which again causes an impact. There is an image reputation that the organization is not able to follow this sustainability responsibility. And to build a solution around all of this, right, you need to be able to touch your value chain. You need sustainability data. you need your basic ERP, financial data. You should be able to bring all of these together and come up with a model which is not only typical, a descriptive or a diagnostic reporting system, but it should be able to be predictive, meaning user should be able to play around and say, hey, what if I want to produce this kind of model car in these many numbers? How my carbon footprint can change because of that? What could my impact be? So it should balance out. They should be able to figure out with some predictive scenarios, like if I do this, this could be the impact. But if I do this, this is how I can maximize my benefit, and also be not only predictive but also prescriptive. Let's say in the direction of how you could optimize the business travel. So even in this business travel has become more and more important. That do you really need to travel? Are you using your public transport? How you are ensuring your travel. And once you have all this data brought together, you could come up with some prescriptive analytics as well. So if you see, the topic has to cover so many things. So you should need a technology that is able to support this. And this is where BTP comes in, right? As I said, it offers, there's a database and data management component which helps you to bring data from n number of places, put it in the cloud. Then you're able to build up the machine learning algorithms. For that, you could leverage data intelligence. For that, you could also leverage own SAP algorithms for this, or even go for open source or Python, whatever is the customer choice is over there. And then at the end, you need a nice, cool looking feature where the user is all able to visualize this, play around. So this is where SAP Analytics Cloud comes in. So if you see this is how we are working with our customers. We are able to bring technology and the market need together and help them realize reaching their goals. I could take another example here. In the area of analytics, we have this data warehouse cloud. This is one of the offerings on BTP where the target is data warehouse as a service, but from a business perspective. We are also currently working with SAP, and it is still in progress. So I will not take out the name what we are doing there, but soon we could expect something being released from Deloitte, the business content for data warehousing cloud. And obviously we have the NBX, the next best action, which is kind of the focus of our today's session, where we want to bring you in and explain the benefits, why we wanted to do this NBX, how we implemented it, how we leveraged SAP BTP, and so on. Maybe Adam, you can talk a little bit more about NBX.
Sure. So NBX is a solution that supports and automates decision making. NBX stands for Next Best Decision Making. And as you could guess, our solution is centered around automated decision making. So why did we decide to develop a showcase around automating decision making? The reason is that decision making processes in large enterprises are multidimensional, rather complex, and are based on a range of factors and data inputs. Good and accurate decisions are vital to the achievement of firm goals and corporate success. And this is where NBX enables businesses to take the next step, to use historical and current data to gain actionable insights. In our specific scenario, we were focusing on the insurance sector. And within the insurance sector, we decided to focus on the area of travel insurances. However, NBX is not restricted to one particular sector, but also could be applied in any kind of scenarios where complex decision-making is involved, such as pricing or claim predictions. Or NBX may also support decision-making across a multitude of industries, such as banking, finance, or manufacturing. Neelesh, maybe you could also tell more about another real-life example where NBX could be used.
Sure. So as Adam explained, NBX, next best action, here we will little bit look into detail the insurance use case. But let's say this is a pretty generic application which could be applied to any industry which is customer facing, right? So basically, the idea behind that is, what could I offer that is best for my customer as a next step, right? And another industry example I could take, which we are also working with one of our customers, is in the area of automobile. So usually when you go to an automobile dealership to buy a car, you would have some cars that are readily available, but maybe they lack the features you're looking for. Maybe you don't have the right color. Maybe there is no seat heating available. Maybe there is no GPS available or whatever, right? So there is always a probability that you're ending up buying something which is not up to your expectation. Then the question is, hey, you also have the option of configuring the car. Why don't you configure? Then I have to wait for a few months, sometimes even 6 months or so, and I don't want to wait. I'm really excited to buy my car. So what we could do, we could collect all this information from these dealerships, from this previous car configurations, collect all the historical data, and come up with a model which could be an input for the production lines. That hey, if we target these configurations, we hit the highest probability that the customer wants to buy this configuration, right? So this could be one example, and there are really a lot of use cases we could apply this to.
So I have a question for you guys about the next best action. So I know that you guys started developing this with us whenever we were doing the SAP Data Intelligence content sprint, and you guys participated and developed this. So you just talked about one scenario with automotive, but then Adam, you were also talking about how you actually developed it with the insurance. So Adam, I have two questions for you. One is, what were some of the business challenges that brought you to focus on this use case, this automated decision making? And then my second question is, what were the challenges in the insurance industry that made you go there first? So could you talk about that, Adam?
Yeah, so one of the key challenges why we decided to focus on the insurance industry in the development of our showcase is the multidimensional nature of decision-making processes. Let's take the travel insurance sector that our showcase is centered around, for example. So if we talk about travel insurances, insurance quotes are offered based on personal details and travel details. And taking all these factors into consideration, making the right decisions is challenging because manual decisions include the risk for human errors and emotions, or decision makers may miss hidden patterns in data sets. It is also possible that human decision makers easily misinterpret information. And as such, decision-making processes not only tend to produce inaccurate decisions, but they're also time-consuming, resource-intensive, and enable limited scaling. And all these conditions can be a challenge for human decision makers and pose as an ideal use case for artificial intelligence technology. So altogether, inefficient and ineffective decision-making creates high risk in business processes and negatively impacts the corporate bottom line. Still, many companies lack the capabilities of optimized and automated decision-making processes, and this is what NBX provides a solution for.
So the more human involved, I guess I could just kind of go with my gut. I could either take me a bunch of time to make this decision, especially in the insurance industry. We want to make sure we offer, the right quote for what it is that they're going to need. So tell us more about the solution. How does it move me from my gut feel or my research to give me my next best decision I would want to make? Let's double click on a little bit more about what the solution actually does and how it works.
So NBX is a holistic solution that offers an integrated and intelligent modern web application, and NBX automates the entire decision-making process. This decision-making process includes data collection by user input, the decision itself, and sales closing. Our solution has been implemented as a module, and it is therefore easily extendable, and it could be also connected to a flexible reporting solution that provides business users with insights about customers and sales. At the end of the day, what NBX does is the following. Since we're focusing on travel insurance, NBX classifies new clients by risk and automatically calculates insurance product offers. And at the core of the solution, SAP Data Intelligence is built in a cloud-based environment that integrates relevant data and can be combined with various front-end tools. So now let's take a look at the user flow of NBX. So when NBX is opened, the first step is data input through a web application in which users can enter personal and travel-related data, such as destination, trip duration, or travel costs. And after these personal details have been entered, the next step is prediction. It only takes a matter of seconds, but this is actually the core of our solution and probably the most complex part in the showcase. So here, the SAP Data Intelligence Platform runs in the background, and it manages manual data entered by users through the front end. Then SAP Data Intelligence compares it with historical data that is available in the enterprise, in this case, the insurance company, and NBX evaluates customer input automatically using predictive analytics. Based on the inputs, risk classifications take place, and the probability of claim likelihood is predicted. After this, a set of insurance products is calculated on the fly, and then an individual price for each insurance product is determined. The price calculation for these insurance products is influenced by the risk classification based on the data insights provided by SAP Data Intelligence. And after the insurance offers with the appropriate prices have been determined, they are then displayed in the web application, where the user may browse through them and choose the most suitable option for his upcoming travel. And after this, the next steps are identical to what is known from most online shopping scenarios. So the user can enter billing data, payment details, and then confirm the purchase, and then buy the most appropriate insurance products that suits their travel needs.
Adam, that sounds really great. Sounds like a cool application. But can you tell us how behind the scenes you leverage this SAP data intelligence, and you said predictive analytics happening? How this ML magic is taken care of? And I'm also curious to know, like in the current situation with Corona, how are you able to still give right predictions? Are you able to consider the ever-changing dynamic conditions in there, or?
So our case, in the case of NBX, is a special case because compared to most scenarios where prediction is based on an offline model, in NBX prediction is based on an online model. This is extremely important because prediction needs to come instantly. So when a customer is choosing an insurance product for an upcoming travel, after entering travel details, he expects the insurance offer to appear on the spot. So in order to make sure that this is possible, data in the model always has to be up to date. So we have an ML machine learning model in the background that is running online. And we have built pipelines to feed this data model with up-to-date data. And this is extremely important because if we take the current COVID situation, for instance, if we focus on travel insurance, travel regulations are dynamically changing week by week. That's the case in Germany, at least, where the list of so-called risk areas is updated every week. So these risk areas are actually countries where the risk of COVID infection is assessed to be higher. And depending on these regulations and depending on which countries are currently counted as risk areas, travelers that return to Germany might have to spend 10 or 14 days in quarantine. So these are factors that are dynamically changing. And of course, to make sure that NBX provides an appropriate insurance offer, the model in the machine learning, the data in the machine learning model has to be always up to date. So in order to prevent the data from getting outdated, we have built pipelines that bring all the data into place. And with SAP Data Intelligence, we have converted this into a productionized scenario. And from time to time, also historical data that is available in the enterprise is going through the model. And this makes sure that NBX can always provide accurate predictions.
So this is Ginger again. So that sounds really interesting application. The fact that it's a real-time model and takes into account things that are constantly changing, like you mentioned the examples, the risk of infection in certain areas. So, I mean, obviously that real-time model is a benefit Tell us a little bit, Adam, about some of the business benefits that are available with NBX.
So the primary benefit is that decisions are made in real time with an immediate result. The integration of machine learning and predictive models significantly simplifies the entire process through automation. And by connecting, discovering, and enriching data sets, the platform turns data chaos into data intelligence with actionable insights. NBX also ensures the company's future economic success by making accelerated decisions with higher accuracy. And it also requires less human capital because since decision making is automated, less human resources are needed to make the most appropriate solutions in this case. And this in turn reduces cost and time intensive manual processes. There is also less manual input per decision, which leads to more efficient and accurate provision of insurance quotes. At the same time, this also eliminates the risk from a biased or emotional decision-making process. And all in all these factors at the end improve profitability. Now, I have covered the business benefits. So, Neelesh, maybe you could tell us more about the technical benefits of NBX.
On the technical side, I would say there's a lot to consider, right? So we have listened to Adam. The core of the solution is SAP Data Intelligence, but that's not the only component that is being used here. So we are leveraging many other components from the BTP. One being the HANA database, which we are using to bring all of our data, collected memory data platform, right? And then we have data intelligence that is able to pull data from this place. We also have need to bring this ever-changing risk data that comes from a web API. We need to be able to call that. We need to bring everything, build a data pipeline that is continuously running, and also predictions online, right? So these features that come out of data intelligence, especially this ML modeler, and the features it provides to maintain your ML ops. So we see in typical machine learning projects, usually the data scientists are starting with an offline tool like R or Python, working on offline data sets in a CSV file, trying to build models. But then what happens from there? There are many customers we see facing troubles to bring them into production. But data intelligence tackles that challenge really well, right? And it is not only giving this ML benefits, but also it has built in very strong data integration operators, which we could use the standard ones. We could develop our own ones. You could connect to structured data, unstructured data, streaming data, whatnot. Yeah, so everything is possible, and also in terms of ML models, it helps to either reuse the models that you have developed in R, Python. As we mentioned in the beginning, openness is one of the major benefits that we see, that we are able to reuse something non-SAP in a quick and easy way, right? And also if you are a more SAP driven customer, then you are able to use the predictive algorithm library that comes with HANA. So there are multiple options, and also in terms of deployment. So you take it where your data is. If you say you are on-premise, you could install it on-premise. If you say you are on cloud, on a particular public cloud provider, then you could go and install it there. So basic idea is that you could install closer to your data. And it provides one more topic I would like to bring in here, right? So we all often get questions from our customers. Why do I need data intelligence, right? Why can't use my traditional ETL tool? And the answer is traditional ETL tool cannot handle all of these, especially the ever-changing data variety of data sources, the volume of data, and data intelligence is built on this technology of Dockers and Kubernetes, where individual small pods are spawned for running different applications in distributed landscape. So it offers so much. And there is also this topic of data governance, where you could do your data cataloging by connecting to different systems. Another challenge that is faced in ML area is my data quality. How do I know where is my data sitting? How good is the quality? So there is also a lot of effort in this direction, right? And then there are other components of BTP like SAP Analytics Cloud, where you could bring all of these in a beautiful dashboards. And SAC is also very powerful in the sense that it offers you reporting, planning, prediction, and it also offers capabilities of doing advanced visualizations with R, and then combining with this HANA database. So, if you see this end-to-end broad portfolio that SAP BTP offers, could really be leveraged based on client scenario. It could really solve issues that were not traditionally possible, and it's a future-oriented landscape, I would say.
I'm really glad you added the bit about why do I need SAP Data Intelligence? Why can't I just use, my traditional ETL? We're investing a lot. We have an O'Reilly report we wrote about, moving from data integration to orchestration. And I just thought you just said it so well that, dealing with this real-time model and dealing with the streaming data, it just really has moved beyond that, right? So ETL still has a very important place. It's not going away, but we need something, I don't want to say on top of it or beside it, that can pull in that, but then also extend it to take advantage of all these things that you guys are working on. So thank you for adding that. That's good. So if I want to learn more about this next best decision, I know that I can go to community.sap.com and type in next best X, and it'll take you guys to your blog. You can also type in SAP Data Intelligence Content Sprint to learn more about the content sprint. And I think that will also link to your blog. But you guys, if people want to learn more, because this has been really interesting today, so thank you both for joining. So Neelesh and Adam, if people want to learn more, what do you recommend? Because you guys offer so much from the strategy to the execution, and then with these showcases you develop. So what do you, should people reach out to y'all on LinkedIn, or what do you recommend?
Yes, for sure. People can reach out to us directly on LinkedIn. It's always welcome that people reach out to us, and we could always talk more about these. Yeah, and then I guess we will also write a blog not only to highlight the NBX, which we already have, as Ginger you have mentioned, but to also kind of bring in a little bit more information about the other offerings we have. Obviously, that could be one point of contact. They could get to know more or even ask questions. But I would say yes, LinkedIn is best way to communicate, and we are open for talking on the channel.
Okay, excellent. Well, this has been a great conversation today. I appreciate both of y'all joining. You guys, if you want more information, you can go to the community.sap.com. You can search for Next Best X. You can go to community.sap.com. You can search for SAP Data Intelligence Content Sprint. You can reach out to either of these experts through LinkedIn. Their names should be in the show notes so you can easily find them. And I want to thank both of you for joining, and I hope you guys will all join us on our next edition of our Let's Talk Data podcast. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.